your level of support is, or your loved one's level of support needs. Because if you're going to be exploring a relationship with a service provider, they're going to want to know how much support your loved one may need. Or if you're looking at a transition program, or if you're looking at a provider-controlled setting that offers long-term support services, you're going to want to articulate and make sure that they can meet the needs of your loved one. In the A Place in the World report, we don't use high functioning and low functioning, and we don't use diagnosis to describe properties, because one's diagnosis, or high functioning and low functioning, doesn't really tell you what someone needs in terms of their support or where they want to live. And so I'm going to go through some of the different ways in which we describe levels of support so that you can best articulate and make sure that wherever you are planning for the future to live, that your loved one or yourself are able to access the support that you need. The levels of support are discussed in terms of long-term support services. And so some people might actually not need any long-term support services at all. So they don't have any support needs. This might be somebody who just wants to live in a community that provides additional social opportunities or wants to be able to partake in classes every once in a while. Drop-in support means that maybe just every couple of days, you need someone to just drop in and check in on you. It could be scheduled, but it's just maybe an hour or two here and there to make sure that you have everything that you need, or that if you need any assistance, you have those hours per week with someone who can provide that direct support. Next would be low support needs. Low support needs means maybe you just need to check in once a day. Not a lot of support, just to check in to make sure your transportation is good for tomorrow, or if you have a piece of mail you don't understand, maybe you need help paying bills. Low support needs is kind of someone who just needs a check-in once a day. Moderate support needs means that an individual needs support throughout the day, but can have multiple hours where they are alone. Maybe they can be alone overnight, but they need someone to check in the morning until they use their transportation to go to their job or their day program. And then when they come home, they need someone to just touch base and make sure everything is okay. And then they can be okay for a few hours on their own. And then maybe they need someone just at night to help them prepare dinner or get ready for the next day. So moderate support needs means that somebody can be alone for multiple hours, but they need checkpoints along the way throughout the day. 24/7 support means that you need to have someone accessible to you in your vicinity 24/7, but that you can share staff. So maybe you live with 2 other people and you need 24/7 support, but maybe overnight there only needs to be 1 staff person, and then during the day maybe there only needs to be 2, because although you need 24/7 support, you can share staff during the day. One-to-one support needs means that you need someone to support you constantly, line of sight, together with you for all things. You cannot share staff, but you need someone to be able to support you to live your life day to day, accessible to you at a moment's notice. That can also be a little bit different than someone who has high behavioral support needs. Oftentimes, someone with one-to-one support needs might also have high behavioral support needs. But sometimes somebody with drop-in support needs or low support needs might also have high behavioral support needs because a traumatic event happens, or maybe there's a big transition in their life, or they're going through a mental health crisis. And so it's important to identify if there are times in your life where you need those high behavioral support needs, and to discuss that and articulate that with your future provider. Additionally, you're going to want to disclose if you have daily medical support needs. Maybe you have diabetes, or maybe you have to track your blood pressure. Technology can help with this, but having a medical professional with you and who can help you when needed is important to identify when talking about long-term support services and your level of support. And then of course, we all age, and it just so happens that some diagnosis of autism, Down syndrome, and other developmental disabilities might have early onset dementia or Alzheimer's. And so later in life, memory care might need to be layered as part of your level of support needs, and that it would be important to identify that and to articulate that to your service provider. So when you're looking at what service provider, what service delivery model, where do I want to live, it's important to consider your level of support. and then share that with whoever your future provider may be so that they can make sure that they can provide the support that you need on your day-to-day basis.